guys are so funny. Who's that? What is that?
Do you want this?
She's too scared.
That's okay.
One of the purposes of this channel is to share our experiences, especially our mistakes, so that we can possibly help prevent your farm from making the same mistakes, especially when it comes to the harm of a person or an animal. Here is a video of our journey of introducing livestock guardian dogs to our family. It's going to start with a failed attempt of a 3-year-old adopted dog from a different background, different farm, and then on to our newest attempt, why we have two, why we started them as puppies, and where they are at now. Today is their 1-year-old birthday, so we thought it was a great time to give you that experience and update. Day 1, we get Artemis. Tell me about that day.
I was very excited because we had only had one dog in the past before, and it wasn't for very long. And then, so we get Artemis. It was going great. She was a very sweet and obedient dog.
Every dog is different, so I'm going to share a few red flags that, looking back, we saw in Artemis. First of all, she did have an injury when we brought her onto our farm. You can see her hopping a little bit. So she had a dew claw that was injured when it was being trimmed by the previous owners. Obviously an accident, but the timing of that was different. You can see how the animals are still afraid with her, and I allowed her to be with them still. I should have been a little bit more cautious. Another red flag is how timid she was. So she was often on her own instead of with the animals. She was a shy dog, but she did reach the point where you can see she would wag her tail. She loved us and would come to us when we called. She did want affection, but there were red flags as far as her interaction with animals and her behavior.
Where are the goats? There they are. Hi, Artemis. Hi, sweet girl.
Looking back, I have learned that female dogs can show more aggression when they go through a heat cycle. I should have noticed that Artemis was off digging. That was a new behavior for us, and she was also being different in the way that she was eating her meals.
And she got into mud, probably from kicking the water bowl over.
Then one day, she attacked one of our pigs. Don't worry, he's okay.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're okay. Oh, even behind the ear, I see. We're gonna put some blood stop on those ears. You guys are too excited to see us. Here, let me give you this.
And
I don't keep you still.
we ended up needing to get rid of her, and that was pretty sad. But her previous owners were able to take her back, so that was cool.
Okay, I wanted to talk about the experience with Artemis. So, mistakes that I had made as an owner play a big role in what happened. So, we asked the previous owners with which animals that she had experience and exposure with. They listed all the animals we have except pigs. Because of her age and how she has been respecting me up to that point, I thought all was good, that if I was there, you know, she would listen to me. We showed that she had been digging. That morning, she did not eat her meal like she normally did. I took her with me off leash when I was planning on opening a little gate to allow the pigs and the goats to kind of trade places. Artemis went in, and she usually will go into each fenced area and go around the perimeter, so I did not follow her. Then a pig came running, and she was chasing him. I had seen her chase a goat for like 1 to 2 seconds and then stop. Like that was just an entertainment thing, you know, but I told her to stop and she stopped. Now with the pig, I could see this was different. She was insistent on getting the pig. I started yelling for her to stop and she didn't. So, and that pig was terrified for its life. As she was chasing him, she was silent. No growling, no barking. When I realized what was going on, she swats the pig. He flips over with his legs up in the air and is screaming, and then she went for the neck. Being new to livestock guardian dogs, I was afraid that if she was pursuing an animal, that if I intervened, I could be bitten or attacked. And I was just screaming at her with all the energy of my soul to stop. And now I know I was feeding into the energy of the dog, but we'll show you some calming techniques that we've learned later. Screaming at the top of my lungs, I even reached a point where I gave her a kick to try to get her to be deterred, distracted, to listen to me. Because like I said, I was afraid to stick my hand in between them or grab her collar at that point. She kept chasing him, and when it looked like he got away, she busted through a fence to get through to him again, when previously she respected fences. So it's like once this pursuit was on, her previous behavior all went out the window. The pig had gashes on its ears, scratches down its back. I think if I wasn't there, she would have happily taken that pig down. And that's what breaks my heart. I should have had her on a leash as she experienced being in contact with pigs for the first time. She clearly did not see pigs as an animal that she was responsible for protecting. She saw them as prey. And even once we separated her on the other side of the fence, like through a 2-fence barrier, she was pacing that fence back and forth like her mind was set on pigs. She would not let them go. And if we let her out, she would definitely have gone after the pig again. It was a heartbreaking experience. 3 weeks in of having her, especially my youngest son and I were bonded with her. We loved her. It felt like betrayal. And learning over time, I've learned that I failed her as well. And from lots of livestock guardian dog trainers and people that educate, the mistake usually lies with the owners making the wrong choices, having the wrong approach. So that was our experience, and that's why we had to let Artemis go.
With our new dogs, they're way more obedient, more comfortable around our animals. Artemis had never been around pigs. And our dogs, they've never been in the same enclosure, but they've been right next to each other through the fence, and they behave very well. And with our dogs, it's very easy to just let them run around in their shock collars, and even without them sometimes. So that's cool.
Let's rewind and see how we got here.
Hi, little John. Hi, little John. Hi, Robin Hood. Oh my goodness, so cute. Okay, let's go.
A couple months after we had the incident with Artemis, I was talking to another homesteader who was raising Great Pyrenees with a small part Anatolian. That gives them the variety of their color. And we always thought puppies were crazy. Our family are not dog people, but we did look around and hear experiences of coyote issues, and livestock guardian dogs are just a great deterrent. Great Pyrenees are alerting dogs. Their primary purpose is to bark first. They are still trustworthy, especially around young children, and that was very important to us. So even though it sounded crazy, we went the puppy route. And I'm going to list some pros and cons of having 2 dogs versus 1 dog.
Hey, little Lolly. Good boy, little John.
So this is about 4 months after we had the life lesson of Artemis. We learned that when a dog is so large, you should be able to trust it with your life and the lives of your animals. So if we were going to do the livestock guardian thing through a dog, we were going to have to start as a puppy. And then the decision came where we had to decide if we were going to get 1 or 2. We have listed the cons of having 2 dogs, and they are concerns that should be taken seriously. The benefits outweighed the risks in this case, as the reasons we chose it are our family could not be outside giving a puppy the attention it deserves for companionship, and that would be provided through a buddy. And then the other benefit is when they are bigger, a lot of the coyotes around here are coming from different directions on our property. It's very likely if our dog had an altercation with a coyote, it would be with a pack. And they're more likely to survive if there are 2 of them versus 1. And they are less likely to be attacked if there are 2 of them versus 1. That is our hope.
Oh, you want to bite it? Man, you're such a turd. I almost just slipped. You're such a turd. No. Hey, leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Ooh, lolly. Good boy. Good boy. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it, Robin. Leave it. Robin, leave it. Hi, little dog. Down. Good boy. He jumped up in front of me, but didn't make contact with me with his paws, so that was very good.
So there was one day where I was going out to clean the dog poop out of their kennel to earn a few bucks, and the dogs were just gone. Weren't there. The kennel was closed properly and all. They were just gone. Closer investigation, there was feathers on the pathway, and I knew that there had been chickens who would occasionally escape. And then I saw behind their doghouse, there was this huge gap in the fence. So I knew the dogs had gotten out when we weren't there and attacked chickens. So I called Mom and told them what had happened and that we need to start searching for both for the dogs and the chickens. And then as we were searching, one of the chickens was found.
Wait, should Soraya tell this part?
Sure.
Were you there when that happened, Soraya?
Yes, I was searching for Sarah, and she was behind a cattle panel squished up against a fence, shivering, and on her side. And I was really scared and sad for her, and I picked her up. And she looked okay. She had lots of feathers missing, and I wrapped her up in a towel, and she was starting to walk a little, and she was eating and drinking, so we sprayed Blue Coat, and she grew her feathers.
That's good. And then what about the other chicken, Lily?
The other chicken was found in a gap on the side of a barn. She had all but one tail feather missing and a huge chunk of flesh missing, and that was pretty graphic. And then she ended up recovering, and our dogs had been found by our neighbor's dog down down the street, and we were able to get them back and put them back in the kennel and fix it up.
Well, that had to hurt.
Having almost lost 2 chickens that day with us not even being aware the dogs were out was a difficult lesson to learn. I suggest you do some research to prepare yourself in the event that your pets do that. You may try some of the methods that are offered online. I'll tell you, I have not found any that are successful. We have just been with the dogs near the chickens and the shock collars to train them to leave them alone and ignore them.
Ooh, sit. Good boy, sitting, Robin. Little John, you change your mind? Sit. Sit. Good boy. Good job. Good boys. Yeah. Oh, you want more? Go play. Wanna go? You wanna go? Come on, little John. Oh, you're ready. Hey, not in front of me, weirdos. Oodalali. Good boy. Are you a good boy? Do you want a belly rub? Do you want a belly rub?
One regret I have about raising the dogs is always letting them get their energy out in a contained area away from the animals we want them to guard. We should have just sucked it up and always had them with goats or chickens or pigs, because it became a whole separate training event to get them accustomed to being calm around the animals, because they were so often used to not being around them.
Leave it, good boy. Hi.
Okay, any advice on what we could have done differently with Artemis?
Given her more calming signals to help her be calm, and not scream a ton. Well, it was you screaming a ton at Artemis when she attacked the pig. All that did was make it worse. So if your dog is ever attacking something, don't scream at it. You gotta be calm. And walking in a straight line towards your dog can also be a bad signal of, like, I don't know how to describe it.
I think like intimidating or aggressive.
Intimidating. So it's better to walk in a curved line, and that's what dogs do. So yeah, if we had done those things, it could have been different that day.
Okay, what are these calm signals that we've referenced a couple of times? I will show you. One of them is walking to them in a curved path. Another is stretching downward out in front of yourself. And another is my favorite. It's yawning. You can look away and yawn while you approach them. And then see how little John is reflecting that. He did a stretch and a yawn.
Hi.
You can't consider Great Pyrenees to be fully grown and mature and trustworthy until they're between the ages of 18 and 24 months. Until then, we still let them get their energy out when they need it, like these videos, away from the animals, because it can stir the goats up to run away, and that can trigger them to want to chase them. And luckily that hasn't happened in a while, but it's okay to still play with them and take advantage of this puppy phase. Even though they're giant babies, they still like to play with balls, and we love that they have good relationships with the kids. They're family dogs as well as guardian dogs for the livestock.
See, you're gonna steal
That's what works for our family.
Valerie loves peels.
Everyone's gathering for banana peels. Be nice, Valerie. Oh, are you submissive to her? Good boy.
I'm Jordan trying. You got it? He's kind of funny, doesn't he? Just come on.
I think he bowed to you, Valerie. Are you the boss?
Girl.
Oh, Valerie, he didn't do anything. Oh, take a chill pill, sister. Take a chill pill.
It's okay.
The goats are relaxing even with the dogs playing with each other, so I'm excited about that. Do not shock the dogs. We'll see how close they let him get. But I'm surprised. The goats kind of freaked out when they first started playing. Even this girl, a little pregnant. Hi. These are her girls. Oh, wow. Oh, gosh. The goats almost stepped on their shock collars. Good boys, good boys. Well, we'll sing to them while they wrestle, I guess. To you.
He's like, no, I want that one.
Yeah.
Robin loves it so much.
Ooh, don't let him knock you down.
They're extra fast as well.
Yeah, they are. Oh, gosh. Oh, I thought the kitty would go get it. Robin, he doesn't want to play like that. Leave it. Leave it. Good boy, leave it. So did we get rid of the dogs that day?
No, we just made sure that we would train them to be calm around chickens and not attack.
Sorry, I wanted to get rid of the dogs.
Yeah, because Sarah's
Didn't
my
she-
favorite chicken.
Didn't you threaten to kill them?
Robin?